Let's move on to 5A Sectional 10. You've got the reigning state champ, Snyder, 7-0 so far against a pretty decent Concord team in the first round. And then on the other side of the bracket, you've got Goshen at 5-2, talking about them ranked 14th in the state against Northside at Chambersfield, which is never an easy place to play. How do you see this sectional breaking down? Because obviously Snyder goes in as the favorite, but you know there are some other quality teams in this sectional.
Yeah, quality teams, I think, and barring Snyder beating themselves tremendously, they should breeze through the first two rounds of the sectional. I think Mishawaka sitting there in the regional maybe is their one challenge between now and Lucas Oil Stadium. But it's good to have some quality teams. You mentioned they got Goshen and Concord both in there, and those are going to be quality teams. They're going to have to come to play. They're not just going to breeze through this sectional. I see Snyder winning with relative ease, but they're not going to just be able to coast. They will be challenged as the tests get stronger, regional, semi-state, and of course state finals.
Yeah, you take a look. I'm looking ahead to that second round matchup. Let's say Snyder takes care of Concord, as based on record they should. Let's say Goshen beats Northside, Goshen 5-2 coming into this week. That would be a trip to Goshen. Goshen's a ranked team. You never know what can happen as the weather starts to turn. Things can get nasty on a Friday night in October. How much does Snyder not look forward to a game, on the bracket far ahead of what they're playing? How do they not overlook somebody?
Well, I think that is the big question with Snyder, too. You look at their roster, you look at their production, there's no reason why this team can't get back to state finals in 5A. The only team that is going to stop Snyder is Snyder at this point, whether they're looking ahead, whether they don't come ready to play, because Concord and Goshen are both capable of beating Snyder if they aren't ready to play. So I think that's a big question even around Snyder and the coaching staff is this team have a similar makeup than last year where they just did not want the season to end and they just wanted to continue to win. Now, does this Snyder team have that same makeup? I'm not sure we know yet, but they need to be ready to play because like you mentioned, both of those teams are capable of beating them. That trip to Goshen, if you're not ready to play, if you turn the ball over a couple times, leave the opening, Goshen will be capable of beating you.
And then in Sectional 12 and 5A, you got Kokomo 4-2 at Huntington North. Kokomo, pretty darn good team. We've seen them run the ball effectively in the past against Snyder in the playoffs, although Snyder's pretty well taken care of Kokomo in the postseason, at least in the last 8 to 10 years. What do you see as being the biggest key for Huntington North to upset a team like Kokomo?
Defense. I mean, they're going to have to really slow down Kokomo. They've had tremendous trouble with Kokomo in recent years. We used to think Kokomo was that dominant NCC team for a long time, and Huntington North was there lurking. Homestead leaves. Now you have Muncie Central in there that's very good. McCutcheon is very good. Marion has improved. So I think we looked at the NCC even as early as 2 or 3 years ago as one of the worst big school football conferences in the state, and I think that's the programs have improved. I think they've improved tremendously, and a lot of upper echelon teams in the NCC now as opposed to Kokomo and everybody else.
And they had a lot of good basketball there, but certainly not known for the football, but we shall see as Kokomo battles Huntington North in round 1.